start solving the questions. You can put your answers on the chat window so everyone can get enough chance to provide their input, and then I'll be explaining them also. So if you look, two senior engineers on your agile team are arguing during daily stand-ups, which means something is happening on daily basis. One say the others keeps taking over, while the other claim they are just ensuring quality. This is starting to affect their morale. So there are two groups, the same situation. One is saying we are doing for best, another is saying you are hijacking everything and you are forcing your opinion to everyone else. So now you know this is the conflict and it's happening on daily basis. So as a project manager, what you can do? So what the project manager should do first? Options available from these given: escalate the issue to the functional manager, facilitate a private discussion to understand the root cause, reassign one engineer to another team, document the issue and monitor the issue. So document the issue and monitor the situation, which means it's already happening daily. Will you let it happen? No, right? You need to take action so this daily thing can be finished. So as a project manager, always remember your answer should match something related to facilitation. That you need to facilitate, you need to provide environment, you need to take initiatives. They are working under you, why you will escalate to the functional manager? And question doesn't say that you acquired them from functional manager, so this cannot be the answer. Similarly, changing the personnel is not the problem. Problem will always be there because they have different opinions. And you cannot stop yourself to do something if something comes somewhere. So you have to go as a proactive approach. So in proactive way of working, so yes, many of you have actually answered it correct, which is what? Facilitate a private discussion to understand why you are doing so. So you can use the thing. So yes, correct answer is B. Very good. Now let's continue to the next question. A conflict has emerged between the development team and the QA team. Initially, they disagreed about defect severity, but now they are blaming each other openly in meetings and sending argumentative emails with multiple managers copied. Team collaboration is declining and project progress is being affected. For you as a project manager, project is more important and surely the people are, but we need to let them work together. So what is the current level of conflict? Problem to solve, disagreement, contest, or fight or war? What do you think is the level of conflict for these people? So what they are doing, they are actually blaming each other. So let me repeat it again. The first one was problem to solve, which means like, the simple disagreement. Disagreement means they have disagreement, but they are respecting each other. Contest means mindset will be going towards winning. My idea is better. Fight or war means they start blaming and fighting with each other, like the war is happening. So in this condition, what is happening? War is happening, not the contest. They have moved from contest to fight or war. So correct answer is D, that they have moved from this level. That's why I explain you the knowledge first before answering the question, so you guys can actually remember that.
Can I
Yes,
ask
Amar,
a
you want to
question,
say
Imran?
something? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. So here's the thing. I mean, the phrase fight slash war, that's pretty big for, I understand what you're saying that they have a disagreement, their argument is happening in front of everybody, like, but fight and war, that's a big word for saying that that's a correct. This is where I get confused.
Fight and war, exactly, like they start blaming each other, they start fighting against each other, they start escalating the things to the different managers. This is the level of conflict.
Yeah, well,
And
but then again, my question is fight and war as a big phrase. When you say in an office
this is as
environment,
per
fight and
the
war.
this is as per the framework, not by me.
I know. PMI framework, they throw me off under the, like fight and war. That's a big phrase. We would not use it, in office environment. We don't use that.
Yeah, no, but these are the terminologies. Look, what we have to answer when we are answering the questions in exam. We have to be on from the PMI side, right? Not from our organization side. So we have to use the similar terminology, which is what fight or war.
Okay.
So look, initially, if you would have been a good project manager and when you notice this thing, initially they disagreed. You should have solved it there. You didn't. But they escalated up to that they start fighting in the meeting where you can use a smooth or accommodate. You didn't. And now they are escalating to the other people or other managers. So means you did not control the things well. If you could control it on early level, it could not have reached to this level. Means no one will start fighting and war from the first day, right? It has gone through with multiple stages, but you did not understand those things. So terminologies are more important when you are answering the question in exam. Next, two stakeholders are in conflict about a critical feature. One insists it must be delivered in the next release due to compliance, while the other insists it must be postponed due to severity of risk. What is the best conflict resolution technique? When you see the word best, there is only one best conflict resolution technique. And answer on the chat window, please. Because they have used the word best. If I take you on the slide, this one, withdraw, smooth, they don't provide any resolution. Compromise, force, or collaborate provide partial resolution, while collaborate is the best. So in withdraw, we are lose-lose, both parties are losing. In smooth, you are lose-lose, both parties are losing. Compromise, lose-lose, both parties are losing. Force, you are winning, other are losing. And collaborate, win-win, both parties are winning. So the best one is, because they use the word best, you need to keep focus on the words which will help you to understand an exam also. So what is the best conflict resolution technique? Even if I remove this is what I always taught you, right? That the question is always in the last part of the question. So even if I remove the first part, answer will still remain same. Question itself has an answer. We just need to practice to go to that point that you can find answers from the questions. So yes, collaborate is the best resolution technique. So now you have seen by yourself the first part exists or not. Answer will still be the same. That's how we need to be solving the question in exam. Let's move to the next. During a steering committee meeting, two executives begin arguing about priorities unrelated to the project. The argument is getting heated and the meeting agenda is derailed. What should you do? So, whenever you are answering the questions, you have to keep these things in mind. Interpret the source of conflict, find the context of the conflict, and then find better resolution technique. So, when you see the question, you should have something in your mind that, okay, this is related to this task. I'm not asking you to memorize the task, but just to understand the context while solving an exam. So, what should you go? What should you do? Use forcing to stop the argument and restore control. Withdraw temporarily and schedule a follow up for the issue. Smooth the situation by agreeing with both executives and ask the sponsor to remove one executive from the meeting. So, surely we cannot do D, right? And use forcing to stop the argument and restore control. We need to look during the meeting. If I try to make it like this during the meeting, You are here. These people are fighting with each other. Means, and they are discussing something which is not related to the project also. So as a facilitator, what I have to tell them? Focus on the meeting, right? Please put these things aside. Only discuss those points which are applicable. And because this is not related to the project, so D surely cannot be the answer. So better answer is use forcing to stop the argument and restore control. The question says that things are out of control. If the question does not say that things are out of control, then answer is B. Withdraw temporarily and schedule a follow-up. Now let's come back. When two people are fighting, right? You don't need to push them further. You need to disconnect them. That is what avoid, right? So the conflict management technique which is being used here is what? Avoid. Thank you very much. Let's finish the meeting here and we will discuss this. So if you are going with this part, withdraw temporarily and schedule a follow-up for the issue, which means, okay, let's just stop. Let's finish the meeting now. Leave everything as it is. We'll discuss this later on. Because when the person is not in the mind of a state, even if you will get the control, will they discuss anything? No, they are not in the mind of listening. When no one is in the mind of listening, why you are asking them to sit there? So we will not ask them to sit there. We said, thank you very much, sir. Let's stop here and we will do this later on. Point close. We don't need to become the boss attitude. You have to be like a facilitator, right? Facilitator, coach, thing. You need to settle down the things, not to start intervening the things. No, I am the boss. No, there is nothing called as boss. So withdraw or avoid means let's disconnect it when two people are fighting, and then we'll discuss this later. But if that has been happening, like this thing, what you have seen, if you already know that they might have this thing, then you can use a smooth. But now because it is happening, at this time you have to use withdraw or avoid. Great. I see a lot of gaps in your knowledge now. Two team members from different regions are in conflict. One believes direct feedback is efficient, while the other finds it disrespectful and demotivating. So productivity is dropping. I will explain user later on. I noted your question. So two members from different regions are in conflict. Imagine one is in MENA region, one is in from the US region, and they have different opinions. Means one is thinking it's disrespectful, and because of that, productivity is dropping. Tell the team to follow one unified communication style. And I have taught you, we will never go with these type of answers. We will not use same stick for everyone. This approach in project management never works. Replace means you are still running from the situation. It's not about replacing. We need to work. If I will keep replacing the people, then how I'm going to work? So this cannot be the answer. Ask HR to conduct cultural training immediately. Even if it says immediately, it will take time to schedule the training. And now situation is my project is being delayed. So I need to go and facilitate a conversation to establish team norms and expectation. Very good. Your answer is correct. Can you tell me which resolution technique you have used here? Avoid, smooth, compromise, force, or collaborate. Which one you have used here? Exactly. You have used collaborate here. You took initiative to resolve the problem. Next. Your project shares a key subject matter expert with another program. Another SME frequently misses your meeting and delivers late. Your team is frustrated and conflict is rising. What is the most likely source of this conflict? Personality difference, competing priorities and resource constraints, lack of leadership support, or poor risk management. Question always have the answer, and you can select the answer. I'm amazed that people are answering correct. Exactly. He might have a different priority. Question doesn't say that there's a problem with the leadership. Question doesn't say that he's doing with a different style. And we are not handling here risk because conflict is rising. To which level we don't know. So he might have a different priority. He might be running with the late. Let's enjoy the conversation. You guys provide me your input on chat. Okay, this is the reason. If this is the reason, how you will fix it? What you will do to fix it? Or what you can do to fix it? Now, this is the reason, you know that. He is troubled with because program have multiple projects, right? So he is working in another program and he's supporting me. So now this is the situation. Discuss with the functional manager. I like the answer. So normally it is called as ask PMO for resource. PMO for resource. Good option. Yes. Finding the root cause. Root cause. It could be like first find the root cause why it is happening. But for that you have to talk to this person, right? Meet one to one, discuss with this person why he's doing. Maybe there was no problem. He's just doing like this. But because our assumption is competing priorities and resource constraints, if he explain to us, then surely we'll go to the program manager or PMO manager that this guy is already having a lot of loads. And because of that, my project is being affected. Provide me another resource or provide him some resource so I can get my work done. Exactly. Very good. Next, two functional managers are in disagreement regarding which resource should support your project. Argument is delaying staffing decisions and impacting project start. What should you do first? Escalate to the sponsor immediately. Did I teach you that resource related matter you should escalate to the sponsor? Never. Use the resource management plan and negotiate priorities. Begin the project without those resources or issue a formal complaint to HR. We are not here to make complaints, right? It's not decent thing until it's on a very elevated situation. So this cannot be the answer. This cannot be the answer. Remaining are two. No action is not always recommended. We need to do something. So to do something is actually yes. Your answer is correct. B. Very good. Next, two teams strongly disagree on technical implementations. A decision must be made today to avoid delaying integration testing. What is the best approach? Collaborate until consensus is reached, even if it takes longer. Use forcing by making the decision yourself. Smooth differences by focusing on shared goals. Compromise by splitting the solution equally. Please remember the word critical, okay? We need to avoid integration testing, which is critical to the project. You are in a situation that you need to do testing, it's delayed. So you will wait for the consensus. Imagine yourself, you are standing, two people are having different disagreement. You are here and you are looking at them fighting, or you will talk to them until they reach an agreement and the customer is waiting outside or customer is there. So it's about Technical implementation, we need to implement, we need to release. Business does not listen your disagreements. And there is no other option, so compromise will never work here because we don't have any other approach. So ultimately, the best answer is B. You need to be, you need to understand the situation. You need to understand the conflict level. Yeah, I know that two people are fighting. Sometime you have to become the boss. Hey, go ahead. The customer is waiting for us. But if it says, because if I remove this word, made today, must be made today, you guys are missing this word. If you will miss this word, your answer will be different. So we need to be focusing on this. If I remove this word, then yes, A could be the correct answer, right? Or D could be the correct answer if they have different approaches. If we skip this line, but if we know that this exists, then I have to become the boss sometimes. Not always, but look at the thing. I have something waiting for me, and I'm just looking, okay, let them read the consensus. And how long will it take? Did you give them any window? Or it could be an answer like, finish it within 10-15 minutes and tell me your decision. Then, yes, it could be a better answer. The first one, that collaborate, to give them a timeline, wait 15-20 minutes, and then, or 30 minutes maximum, and give me the result. Decide yourself and do the result. But here, made today, and you are not putting in any other options. We don't have any timeline, so I have to become the manager for a while.
So even if this question there is no team leader or the project manager is mentioned, so who will take the decision?
You will, because you are the one who is, why you are the team lead then. If team cannot make the decision, right, then you have to do. What's the purpose of self-organizing team? Team will do everything. But if they cannot do it, then you have to take in charge. That's why we make you a team lead. Otherwise, there will be a question mark. Why? What is your role? Just attending a stand-up meeting only? In 8 hours, you will just have a 15 minutes stand-up meeting? What you will do the rest of the day? So this is the rest of the day thing, that I need to ensure that everyone really stay on time. Next, a conflict exists between a vendor and internal team over missed deliverables. The vendor insists requirements were unclear, while the team claims the vendor ignored documentation. What is the best next step? Terminate will never be the right option, right? Terminating the contract means hiring another vendor, adding more delays. So that cannot be the answer. Facilitate a joint review of meeting, requirement acceptance, and change history. Escalate to procurement and stop communication with the vendor. Stopping will never bring you the result. Stopping will never bring you the result. Means removing the stakeholders from the list, from the communication management plan. We cannot alienate the people or the stakeholders. So this cannot be the answer. Penalties to enforce compliance. Why you want to go? If they have been repeating this thing again and again, then yes. Or if I would write the question, what is the best to avoid next time? So yes, for next time, I can add penalties in the contract that if you will not do this, we will do this. But if it is not written in the contract, you cannot do this. So question, one word will be changed, answer will be changed. That's why we always say do not try to memorize the questions from the simulator and answers, because if one word or situation is changed, your answer is gone. So please focus carefully when you're answering the questions. And the last question for today. Two team members have ongoing interpersonal conflict. You try smoothing, but the issue keeps resurfacing. Means you use a technique, but it's not helping and is now impacting the delivery quality. What should you do next? You have already used one, it didn't work. Continue using. If something did not work, is there any point of continue the same thing? No. Shift to collaboration and address the issue directly. Ignore the issue. We never ignore anything in the project. Use forcing and assign blame publicly. You will never go public to explain anything. For this, there are a spokesperson in the organization. They do the things you are not supposed to do as a project manager. So this is out of the league also. The one answer which is left is it's only this. Shift to collaboration and address the issue directly. This is what we call it when we understand the PMI mindset, when we understand the exam content outline, when we understand the situation of the course and the criticality of the moment, we choose answers. Based upon the situation, like if I told you, if I just remove the word today, answer will be different. If I add word now, answer will be different. If I say preventive, answer will be different. If I say next, answer will be different. So be careful when you're answering the question. So let's keep it here.